All right. Hey guys, Alicia here from Wilder. I've gotten a lot of questions about what I carry in my pack when I go for long runs, and I did a really long run for me yesterday, about a 59K, and I was really tired, didn't unpack my pack, had a shower, went to bed, and ate instead. And so I thought it was a good opportunity for me to just go through what I had, and we can have a pack chat with each other today. I've got my rehydration, and I'm taking today really easy, which is nice because it's really hot, so works out well. Okay, so this is the pack that I took on a challenge called the Triple Crown in Waterton. I did Akamina Ridge, Carthew Alderson, and then Crypt Lake. Now, I wasn't unsupported, so there's some things that might have been different if I was doing the whole 59K without access to other snacks and stuff like that. But I think this is gonna give you a pretty good idea of what to bring anyhow. So without further ado, let's get started. So, even if I'm going on a short run, I'll often bring this pack. It loads really well. Any running pack will. I did run my first 50K with just a regular hiking backpack, so don't think that you have to have the good gear, but if you're out doing this a lot, it sure is helpful. The one thing I always bring in our area is some bear spray that is not expired, some current bear spray, and I always keep that super accessible. It's not going to do you any good if you can't get to it in 5 seconds or less. So mine stays right here, and sometimes I even practice taking it out safely. That safety clip means that it's okay, it's right here. Just keep an eye on it and make sure it's not going to come out and burst or something on you. In that same pocket, to keep it tight, I also keep my gloves. I get really cold hands even if the rest of me is warm, so I will almost always have a pair of gloves on me. Yesterday we started pretty early, just before 6 a.m. and so I started with these guys on, and I had taken them off by about 9 or 10 a.m. though, but a good small pair of gloves is always important. It looks like I've also got the wrapper for some fruit snacks in here as well. I will usually hide snacks in my pack. Oh, and this is a good point. I have a kind of gross peel and pull still in my pack that I did not eat yesterday. So hide snacks, you never know when you're gonna want them. On the other side of my pack, this is where I keep my glasses. I do keep them in the case, but if you aren't worried about them, you don't need to do that. I had these on for most of the day, but I do find when you're running in the trees, you want to be able to take them on and off quick, which is why I store them right here. And this, other than the glasses, is mainly my snack pocket. So these were just from my last stash up, if you will, things I didn't finish. But this is my primary snack bag. I made these cloth bags, and then I will put the food that I'm taking in a bag so that it is right here, and I'm eating as I'm running. So this pocket always has my food in it. And if you're interested, leave a comment. We can go over the snacks that I use when I'm doing long runs. But I like to have a lot of food with me, just so I feel like I'm not gonna run out of energy on that side of things. Then this pocket, I didn't have anything in for my long run, but sometimes I'll put my phone in here. It almost fits. Yesterday, I'll put a picture up. I was wearing a pair of shorts that fit my phone on the side, so I didn't need to use that. Then we turn around to the big compartment back here. Because I was filming a lot, and I'm filming on the same GoPro now, which is why it's not on here, I brought this tripod. It's heavy, it's extra weight, but because I use it so much, I figure it's worth it. I actually usually keep the GoPro using this tripod wrapped around my pole like this, and then I can quickly get a picture. I'll usually take a video and then screen grab pictures from it of my running partner or the view or whatever else I find. This one actually broke yesterday, so the third leg of the tripod isn't on here, but I'm gonna fix it and then we'll be back in business. And that brings me to the pole. This isn't the exact pole I had yesterday, it's the pair of the pole. I take this off when I'm using it in the summer, but the other one is in the car that's gone to Kyle's work today, so it's not in there. What I'll usually do, this is a collapsible pole and it's adjustable, which I enjoy a lot. I think it's important to have a pole with you because for the most common running injuries, it's good to have a straight, strong unit that you could use for bracing if required, or to help yourself because the most likely injury is going to be something that happens to your ankles, and so to have kind of something to support you if you need it on the way down is important, which is why I bring a pole. Poles are also really helpful if you're doing really steep downs to take some load off your knees, and on the way up I usually use one unilaterally to kind of help me give some drive and make sure I'm using my glutes. So you bring this, and when I'm not pulling, I'm not actively pulling, I'll either just hold it either in full pole position or broken down in my hand, or sometimes I'll also collapse it and then stick it through the back of my pack here. And it's not much wider than I am, so that actually works out really well. Okay, so the other thing I had was an extra upper layer. Again, it wasn't exactly this one. I just shoved one in here for show because the other one's really dirty. But I'll put a picture of me wearing it up there. I like having a light colored top because then the heat's not going to affect me as much, the wind isn't going to affect me as much. And I did wear that long sleeve for about half of yesterday. So having a long sleeve when you're out on the trail is important. I also have this wind jacket. I actually bought this initially for skiing, for ski touring on the way up. It's super light. It has a full hood and a pocket in it. It fits nice and loose on me, which is important, especially if it's gonna get hot. And so I'll keep this on hand, and it does provide an extra layer of warmth if needed, but also shielding from the sun for long days out too. So it's a good thing to have, and I'll hardly ever go on a run without some sort of extra layer like that. I also brought this. Now, I didn't actually pull this out yesterday, but having some sort of like neck tube or handkerchief has a lot of different uses. You can dunk it in water and pop it on the back of your neck if you're getting hot. If you're getting cold, you can pull it on as a toque or as a neck layer. And this one was given to me by a friend, and it comes on almost every single run with me as well. I also have a hat on here. I was wearing this for most of the day. The older I get, the more important I realize sun protection actually is, and how much longer you can go on a long day if you just take some precautions to keep yourself cool and protected. It was so hot yesterday. When I came to a snow pile, I would put a snow pile in here and put it on my head so I had that nice cold layer. Or every single creek I crossed, I dipped my hat in and stuck it back on my head. My hair was a disaster at the end of the run because I did that, but it was worth it because I stayed cool. Then we actually get to undo some zippers now. Oh, Waterton traffic going by. All right, so this is my inReach or communication device. You always want to make sure you have one with you. Most of yesterday I had a phone and this. There's some parts on the trail that I was on that didn't have service, which is why it was important to bring this unit with me. I also used it for tracking yesterday. If you're going in an area that always has self-service, then just having a charged phone is good. But because we don't have cell service in a lot of our mountains around here, I make sure I have my inReach with me, and my subscription is paid on that. So it depends. Some people need it, some people don't, but I love having it. I can also send messages from here, let people know if I'm farther away or closer than I thought I would be, and of course call for help if I need to. Then water. This is a 1.5 liter unit, which would be not enough at all if I wasn't able to refill, but I actually have this Sawyer mini filter just in the line of my Camelback. These are great. They last for a very long time and they aren't that expensive. The water in this pack right now is from one of the lakes along the way, and I could feel great about refilling my water in a creek or in the lake without worrying about getting sick from it. And this filter is also great because I can just pop off this top piece and clean it, and I can use it for a lot of uses, like a long time. I originally got this because we were going on a multi-day, but now I've just left it attached and I use it every single time. It makes it a little bit harder to get water out of the Camelback, but not enough that I don't drink. So I think it's well worth it for sure. Okay, and then underneath that is the first aid kit that I bring with me everywhere. Let's see if there's anything. Oh yeah, anything else back in there. And that includes an EpiPen, because I once got a reasonably scary allergic reaction on a trail to, I think, some grass pollen. I would only get one of these if you've, been given medical clearance to administer and use one. The rest of my first aid kit, again, this is specific to your level of training and where you're going. I have a pared down kit that I bring jogging on trails, and then I have a bigger kit that I bring on bigger days. The best thing I've found, the kind of most exciting thing in my first aid kit for trail runners, is this really cool, let's see if I can get it open here, bandage that sticks to itself. And my refill actually was from a horse supply store, because I guess they use this to tape up the bottom part of horses' legs. But I have had a friend roll an ankle on a trail before, and we used this to support that ankle on the way down. It can also be used to cover wounds with a gauze material, which I have here. And so it's been kind of the most runner-specific first aid kit item that I always bring. I'm probably not going to go too in detail on this because, again, it's so specific based on your training, but I do have the numbers to report fire and for rescue in Waterton that I keep in here, even though they're also on my phone and in my inReach device. Maybe it's just a little, makes me feel safe to have it. And then I have some general Blister Care stuff as well. You want to always just think about what might happen when you're out there, and then make that first aid kit to help mitigate some of, or help deal with some of those issues if they happen. A trail runner's first aid kit is going to be different than a hiker's first aid kit, is going to be different than a climber's. And so look into this on your own, but just make sure you're bringing stuff with you in case something goes wrong. So that's everything that I had for my 59K mountain trail run yesterday. It's going to depend if it's the distance, the terrain, and how much support I get along the way as to what I bring, but that's kind of a nice starting point. I'd love to hear what you have in your pack, or if you think there's anything I'm missing or that I don't need to bring. Lay it on me. I want to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wilder week, and we'll see you guys soon.